Join us now for Roots and Reflections Word of the Week. Learn these words and you'll soon have a working vocabulary for your trip to Israel. This week's word is sababa, and my son Ariel interviewed young Israelis to get the proper definition of the expression sababa.
Sababa is fun.
Sababa is cool, fun, happy. Like it.
Great, like rock on, solid, something like that.
Sababa, it's very good for me.
Sababa, it's like cool, great, or something like, how are you doing? Sababa, or like, what do you think about it? It's sababa, or something like that.
It had a lot of meanings in Israel, in Hebrew. You can say sababa to, like everything. If I ask you something, it means yes, it means fine, it means cool, it means awesome, it means, I don't know. It has just everything that is good and that's positive, you can say sababa on it.
We're going to drive over by the Elvis Inn because everybody knows that this is the infamous landmark for tour groups where Elvis resides in the hills of Judea. Hey, we just came off the highway between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. That's highway number 1. And we stopped at one of the most famous landmarks here called the Elvis Inn. Nearly every tour group comes here at one time or another, so I'm sure that you'll get here one of these times. Elvis, born on January 8th. Here we are, the Elvis Inn. Hey, they got everything to do with Elvis in this place. You gotta come on by. Even they got Elvis cigarettes, postcards, and listen, you can come on by and eat here and drink coffee like we're about to do.
Elvis wine, Elvis cups, Elvis postcards. What else? Elvis flags.
How much are the Elvis cups?
10 shekels. If you drink a coffee, it costs 12 shekels, and you get to keep the mug with you.
Good,
souvenir.
I want my Elvis.
An Elvis mug? Okay.
Yeah.
Take this, we'll give you a mug, a clean mug.
All right, that sounds
Elvis
great.
bag, Elvis sugar, Elvis.
Man, look, they even have Elvis shirts. Really neat. Elvis American Diner. And these are made here actually in the Holy Land. They're made right here in Israel. So when you come on by the Elvis Inn, you got to pick up some souvenirs here. So happy travels. The Elvis statues greet travelers on the main highway to Jerusalem. Earlier, we visited Castel, a strategic point along that road. But Arab attacks weren't confined to that position alone in 1948 during the siege. At a time when Jews were not allowed by the British to arm themselves for self-defense, homemade armored cars were manufactured in Tel Aviv workshops for carrying vital supplies to break the Arab siege of Jerusalem.
Those rust-painted vehicles that you see on the main road coming up from what's known as Sha'ar Hagai, the gateway of the valley, up to Jerusalem, are the remnants of the convoys that were stopped, massacred, and destroyed, and the goods captured of the convoys that were trying to come up and relieve the siege of Jerusalem, which was cut off from the rest of the country, and their supplies were dwindling during the Battle of 48, the Battle of Independence. And there were very, very brave efforts by the Haganah and the Palmach, the early predecessors to the Israeli Defense Forces. These young people were very, very brave in trying to help their fellow Jewish pioneers in Jerusalem, very bravely faced all odds to try and break through to the siege, but they were always cut off. The circumstances just did not permit them to get up there. These burnt out vehicles are a memorial to those who tried so valiantly to get up to Jerusalem. The convoys were always being cut off coming up the pass at Sha'ar Hagai. So there was a very, very famous story of the building of the Burma Road. An American colonel, Mickey Marcus, who was trained at West Point, and he led this ragtag troop of new immigrants, older people, untrained soldiers, in building an alternative mountain pass to get up to Jerusalem from the coast to bring the siege inhabitants there their water, their food, and their also, of course, military equipment as well.
By the way, that was a movie with Kirk Douglas. I'll never forget it. It was about a Jewish colonel, and it's really a great movie. I can't remember the name.
Cast a Giant Shadow.
Cast a Giant Shadow. It's worth seeing. Try and find it somewhere, and it'll give you a little bit more history about the Burma Road and coming up to Jerusalem. This is the Burma Road. Whoa, this is really, this is rough. Imagine this, 1948, Colonel Marcus leading a ragtag Jewish army trying to build a road up the backside to Jerusalem, break that siege. Man, this was hard stuff to do, and I'm telling you, they were rocking and a-rolling. Roots and Reflections is a program created to bring you the Bible, culture, and education from Israel. It is our desire to build you up in your faith, to bring you hope both now and in the future, and to share God's love with all of you. Call the number on your screen and partner with us as we seek to share the good news from Jerusalem to the ends of the earth. These are the abandoned ruins of an Arab village known as Ain Tsuba, whose Arab residents sought to expel the Jews. They took up arms at Castel to drive the Jews out in the war for independence. But it reminds us of another scripture in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, where it says, "I will bless those who bless thee, and curse those who curse thee." For over there is a city known as Abu Ghosh, whose residents in the war for independence chose to bless the Jews.
Maybe the most friendly village in all this country, Arabic village, is the people of Abu Ghosh. And they decided about this friendship back to almost 100 years ago. Before the Balfour Declaration, they believed that the Jews are going to rule this place, and they said, we want to be on the side of the Jews. In 1929, when there was a very hard pogrom against Jews all over the country, mainly in Hebron, the people of Abu Ghosh, they went to the new kibbutz, Kiryat Arvim, that was there only 7 years, even less, and they told the people, come to our house, we protect you. Now look what happened. These Arabic people, Muslims, living here so friendly with us. This place is well known all over, not only in Israel, as a place of peace and a place that people can know how to live together. And this is the importance. And maybe the roots are back from the Gibeonites, when they decided to be on the side of Israel, because they said, we have heard what God did with you. We want to be on your side.
The village of Abu Ghosh has been blessed. In a drive through the community, one can see the many prosperous homes. Noora is one of the scores of popular restaurants in the town patronized by Israelis who come from all over the country to enjoy the culinary delights of Abu Ghosh. Actually, this village is known as the hummus capital of the world. The name of this restaurant in Abu Ghosh is Noora, and that's exactly what we're looking at. This little water wheel is Noora. Let's go have a bite to eat.